Enjoy the Alleluias today. We won't hear them again until Easter. I will miss this last gospel one a lot. So Jesus goes up the mountain with his disciples. They have this incredible mystical experience. What's the bottom line? In 3 minutes or less. We are to become Christ. That great experience, the glowing, it reminds us of the story of Moses going up into the mountain and meeting with God. And every time he met with God, his face was aglow. In fact, his skin glowed so much that when he went back down to talk to the people to tell them what he had learned from God, he would put a veil or a covering over his face because he was too bright to look at. He must have looked like the brightest bulb you can see. Too bright. But the point isn't that we can't look at God or look at his son Jesus. The point in this story of the Transfiguration is that we're going to follow him back down the mountain. This is the last Sunday of Epiphany. We're going to follow him down the mountain, and the journey to Jerusalem, that final journey, begins. There will be stories and healings and parables along the way, but we know the ultimate destination is to get us to what we call Holy Week and Easter, that last week. And the whole point of following on the way, and then in that week we call Holy Week, of actually coming and attending the services, Maundy Thursday, Good Friday, the great vigil of Easter. Easter is that we are so immersed in the story of Jesus that we begin to look like him. That's the whole point. I wrote in the annual meeting cover, or wherever my report is, I can't remember now, too many parishes. I wrote that a parish is basically just about a few things. We're here to gather for worship. That's our chief responsibility, is to gather for worship. But in gathering for worship and in helping to form people, preparing people for baptism, for other sacramental rites, we're being changed. We're being transformed. We're being transfigured, if you will. We're being turned into Christ. That's the work of a parish. And as we're being transfigured and turned into Christ, and believe me, there is no perfect transformation in this life. We are all beginners. But within this transformation, if we embrace it, if we encourage each other in it, we begin to act more like Jesus. We're more loving. We're more selfless. We're able to see each other and those outside this church as our sisters and brothers. And that leads me to the next part, service. We worship, we practice formation, we practice it a lot, and we go out into the world to be Christ. The whole point of becoming Christ and of sharing this Eucharistic bread today, which we break and share with each other, the whole point of becoming Christ is to share in the world. We've heard this said before, we are Christ's hands and feet and his voice. We got to take it seriously. This world is hungering desperately for good. And our job, in whatever way we can do it, large or small, is to offer goodness and grace and forgiveness, reconciliation, and hope. Hope. We gather in hope, and we will leave in hope. Alleluia.